but to rock and roll now. Too old, too young to be buried. I'm gonna get my groove on and party all night long. Too young to be buried. Too young to be buried. I'm gonna get my groove on and party all night long.
Okay, we're going to do a countdown. We're going to get going. Here we go. We'll do a 5, 4, 3. Jay, thanks. You're doing a great job downtown. And we're always looking for volunteers who want to help out on the show. We've got some wonderful ones these days. And one of the newest is Lynn Orman, who started showing up here and listening to the show and then giving me suggestions for guests, bringing musicians on. And then she said, I got this guy, Eddy, the Chief Clearwater, and how about bringing him on the show? So it is an honor to have you here, sir.
Well, thank you.
One of the things that I got to say that I love about Chicago, and as a young guy, I used to go to the South Side, to the Sutherland Lounge, and to McKee Fitzhugh Disc Jockey Show Lounge, and a lot of other places.
63rd and Cottage Grove.
We we were wandering around. We were finding a lot of adventure, and we were young, and Chicago captured our heart big time. And one of the things that's always been wonderful about Chicago is the music, and all kind of music. And you're one of the best. And so we're really honored to have you on our show.
Well, thank you. I just like to hang out and have fun with the blues, and it's good to just be around good people. That's what makes me happy.
When did you decide or find out or get the feeling you were going to be a musician as your occupation and live the blues and spread the music?
Well, it was an early dream of mine to do this. I wanted to be in the music from an early age, and I just kept a positive thought about it. So I said, I'm just going to hang in there. There we go. Yeah, this is better, yes.
Oh, much better.
Yes.
So when did you first pick up the guitar?
Oh, at a very early age, about 12 or 13 years old. My uncle had an old acoustic guitar in the South, so he would tell me, he would give me permission to play it. He said, go ahead and play it. And I thought he didn't want me to pick it up. He said, no, go ahead and play it. I want you to play it. So I started playing it every chance I get.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, born in Macon, Mississippi. And I came to Birmingham at an early age, and then from there to Chicago.
How old were you when you came up to Chicago?
15 years old, yes.
So you were up north when all the real action was hitting down south.
Oh, yes, I was right in the midst of it.
We had plenty of action here, too.
Oh, yeah.
Civil rights movements.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I came right in September of 1950. I came to Chicago.
So you've seen a lot of things. How has the city changed in your time, and what do you make of it today?
It's like a whole different world. It's like a different world. It's changed entirely, changed. But it's a good city for music, and it's just a good place to be.
Eddy Clearwater, I noticed when I was doing my research that you have a number of nicknames, but the one that seems to have stuck, at least the one that we ran a picture promoting the event here today, is you in your headdress like a Native American outfit, and I wonder where you got the name Big Chief.
Well, I was doing an album for Rooster Blues Records, so I said to the producer, I said, I want to wear my Indian headdress and ride a horse for the artwork for the cover. So he rented a horse in Joliet, Illinois. He said, we'll rent you a horse. So we had to go down to Joliet and shoot the pictures. So when they designed the album cover, the producer said, we'll call the album The Chief. And then everybody started to call me The Chief from that on.
Were you an experienced horse rider?
Oh, no, I rode, well, I was pretty much, yeah. I rode when I was a kid in the South. That was my way of transportation, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
But Eddy, tell him what the weather was like when you were on that horse.
Oh, it was like freezing out. I had to wear gloves So the producer said, no, you can't wear gloves, because I was holding my guitar. He said, you can't play a guitar with gloves on, so you got to take your gloves off. So we finally got the pictures done, and what.
Do you remember your first gig in Chicago?
I can't really remember my first gig, because, well, at that time we'd have to go around and do auditions, and if they liked you, then they would hire you. They'd tell you, come in and do an audition. If we like you, we'll hire you. So there was a whole bunch of places on the south side and the west side of Chicago.
Let me ask you, one of the things, one of my earliest influences was, I remember the first album I ever bought was Big Bill Broonzy, and it was a Columbia Adventure series. This would have been in the 50s sometime. And then
yes, that was.
There were a lot of blues musicians here, and then there started to be these young Caucasian dudes, Mike Bloomfield and Paul Butterfield and those kind of guys. And I remember meeting those guys, Elvin Bishop, and seeing them. What was the shift in the music? And I would assume when you were playing early on, it was mostly you were playing with other African Americans, but then you started probably as the scene developed, even you have Muddy Waters playing with Paul Butterfield. How did that shift come on the scene? What was it like when these younger white kids showed up and started playing the music?
Well, it was a very good mix, because they, like you said, some of the white players started to come around, and they would walk up in blues joints like Teresa's Lounge on the south side and different places. 708, they would come in and jam, sit in and jam. Like the Stones, they used to come when they first came to Chicago. They came up 43rd Street to see Muddy Waters and places like that.
I'm trying to remember the name of the place at 39th and Drexel. There was a place where Paul Butterfield would play. First they were up in Lincoln Park, in Old Town, that kind of thing. But then he was down there with Howlin' Wolf's old band, and I remember they would put a platform down in the middle between the bar and the stage.
Right, that was because there was no stage. You have to just make a shift, do stage. Yeah, I know the place that I can't call the name of it.
Man, it's going to come to me right after the show's over. But
that's what happens. Yeah, because that's the place I first seen Magic Sound. That was 39th and Drexel. Yes.
You mentioned one label that you've been on. I noticed that you did some work with Alligator, and Bruce Aguilar is a guy who's from Rogers Park area, and here's a picture. Eddie the Chief, Clearwater, West Side Strut, and that would be on Alligator?
Alligator, yeah. That's my latest one on Alligator.
So tell me about the labels and the different labels that you played on, and how you ended up with Alligator, and are you still playing with Alligator?
Yeah, my newest one is going to be on Alligator. I'm working on the new one right now. Yes, Alligator, that's quite a few great people on Alligator Records. It's a very good company, and Bruce and I, for some reason, we get along quite well. Yeah.
Well, he's done a great job. Hopefully we'll get him on this show sometime.
Yeah.
You have a couple of events coming up. Not only do you have a new album coming out, let's talk about that first. Tell us about the new album, what it's called, when it's released. I know that I did get a copy of it, but I did not get it to the guy who's downtown. So that's why we're listening to this other wonderful music from earlier albums. But tell us about the new one, Eddie.
Oh, the new we're just working on a new one. We haven't finished it. What happened? I've just finished a new DVD that's going to be released in anytime in the very near future. It was recorded live in France, so it's going to be out on.
It's beautiful. It's a 4-camera shoot, and it was at a festival. Eddie travels to Europe quite often. It's very famous in Europe. It's famous here, but it's amazing how the European culture. He plays with a band called the Juke Joints quite often, and goes on tour through the Netherlands, and just got back from the Netherlands actually. 2 weeks
Norway,
in Holland.
Norway is.
Well, what was that like? I mean, we have a situation. I remember early on when a lot of bands, a lot of blues bands would go over to, and jazz musicians too. They weren't getting paid a lot of attention here, and they go to Europe, and they were making it over there.
Oh,
what was that phenomenon like? You go over there, everyone cheers, you come home, and you still got to deal with the same old what.
Yeah, well, let's see. It's a whole different phenomenon there. They really look up to the blues, and it's highly appreciated. Like that's why Memphis Slim went there years ago, and also Muddy when he first went to England and stuff. That's how he really got real famous at that time.
Eddie Clearwater, what is the scene here in Chicago with the blues now? You know, we had it out in the neighborhoods, and then it sort of came to Lincoln Avenue. There were a number of clubs, and now you have some bigger places that bring all kind of musicians. What's left of the traditional juke joint kind of places out in the neighborhoods? Is there any of that? Where do you play these days?
Well, these days I play places like Buddy Guy's Legends, and then there's a place in Evanston I play. It's called Space.
Nice
but,
place.
But then there's a club called Blues on Halsted Street, and Kingston Mines. They're still around.
Are there any places out in African American neighborhoods that still play the blues?
There are some.
Well, it's really sad, actually. In the last month, 2 of the neighborhood juke joints that are really authentic to the neighborhood closed up. Artists, where Billy Branch was every Monday night, and also, well, the apartment where Von Freeman was, that just closed down,
Yeah.
and Lee's Unleaded, that was on the southeast side.
Is there anything left?
There's Linda's, Teresa's, not Teresa's, I'm sorry, Teresa's is gone, but Rosa's.
Roses, yes.
Which is on Armitage.
Yes.
But there's, well, the Velvet Lounge, I think they're reopening the Velvet Lounge
Yeah, I
to
think they are.
jazz, but the smaller clubs, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of bars and there's a lot of music going on, but the kind of authentic juke joints have kind of lost their leases over the last year.
Eddie, do you play other people's tunes? Do you write your own tunes?
I write quite a bit of my own tunes. I also play other people's tunes once in a while too, but I prefer sticking to my own stuff. You know.
What kind of things inspire you? What do you like to write about?
Anything.
You got any particular example you can give us that something happened to you, you turned it into a tune?
Well, yeah. Well, I can just hold a conversation with you, for instance, and you may just say a
My
word.
daughter put me in a poem.
Yeah. That's right. That's how it goes. You know, you hear something, and you go home and say, "Oh, that's an idea. That could be a song." And that. So I've done it in quite a few occasions. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a DVD that just came out.
I'll give you a
It's
copy
coming
of it.
out. And you have a new album you're working on. And Lynn told me that you are going to play a benefit for mental health.
Yes.
And why don't you tell me about what that is and what it's about?
Lynn can tell you more about it than I can.
Okay, it is the Mental Health America of Illinois, and it's the annual concert to raise awareness about depression, suicide, and suicide prevention. And it's October 4th at Buddy Guy's Legends at 700 South Wabash from 6 to 9:30 p.m. And I can give you an email address. It's www.mhai.org, and there's tickets available online. They kind of vary from general admission. There's student tickets available, and then there's VIP seating as well. And that's a great home for Eddie to play. He'll be there with his band that are all local guys. Amazing,
Tell us about your
amazing
band. We got about a minute left.
Yeah, well, I have 4 pieces. Shoji Naito on guitar and bass, and David North on bass. He plays bass also, and then I have Steve Bass on drums, and myself on guitar.
How long you been playing with these guys?
Shoji has been with me about 5 years now. Shoji Naito, and David North, he's been with me throughout the years periodically, a little bit.
Can I give Eddie's website so
Tom
people want?
Quibbelon.
Yeah, you tell us everything you want us to know. You give us
Okay.
a website, you tell us one more time where the event is going to be.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say publicly, Eddie, we hope we can get you to play at the Heartland Cafe. So we'll do that.
I would do that.
We'll make some kind of arrangement. You'd
Why
be
not?
great.
Well, anybody in our audience today, if you sign up for the mailing list, we have Eddie, the chief guitar picks, over there by his wife Renee. So if you go over there and you sign up, and then you'll be on our newsletter list also, which is fantastic. And with that, you can be the first to get a DVD of Eddie's new DVD and find out all kinds of stuff. He just came back from hell. Can I say that?
You can. Hell is okay. There's certain words you don't say.
He just performed in hell, right?
Hell,
Hell,
Norway.
Miss Norway.
Hell,
Hell,
Norway.
Norway,
Yes.
yes.
I thought they were going to call that in Texas or someplace, South Carolina. Anyhow, go ahead.
Okay, so Eddie will be at Buddy Guy's on October 4th, Thursday, October 4th, but also hitting the road for the King Biscuit Festival. So anybody traveling, he's in the Love Mobile. He's got a great Love Mobile, and that's traveling to Helena,
built for the
Arkansas.
road, yes.
And you can find all that out by going to eddyclearwater.com. Very easy, and sign up for the newsletter there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of my schedule.
Oh, I got the schedule. I'm putting it in my pocket. I'm going out
Okay.
to Omaha. I was just there. I might go out and
Omaha,
see
yeah.
it. St. Petersburg, Florida. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to
okay.
be traveling. Okay. All right. I want to say that next week we're going to have Michael Deutsch, who is one of the people from the People's Law Office, and he's going to do some talking about some serious issues that are in the judicial system that we need to pay attention to. And I'm very happy to say I have another daughter who is going to come on the show. This time it'll be Koya Paz, and she's going to talk about lip gloss and theater. And we're looking forward to seeing her next week. I want to thank everybody who makes this show possible. Jay Sarate downtown, Angel Herrera. We've got Lisa Smith, Laura Herman, Katie Hogan, Lynn Orman. There's a whole bunch of us. I've got Paul and Mary Wozniak here. It's a collective effort. We're looking for more folks to get involved. Remember that we have on